I was just reading a story about how because of COVID-19, some 50 some million Americans could go hungry. And my own experience, I've during the pandemic, I've traveled to several remote towns and also several big cities and mid-sized cities as well. My own experience has been that people are gaining a lot of weight during this time, right? It really flies in the face of what I saw online. And personally, myself, I've been going hungry, but for good reason, right? So in early 2020, I used to have a very unhealthy relationship with food. What I really loved about the pandemic was that I didn't have distractions, right? Normally, in 2019, if I tried to do intermittent fasting, people are very intrusive. They get bothered by the fact that you want to fast, especially if you refuse food that they're offering, especially if they prepared it, right? Go to any holiday party and tell people you're fasting. It's not going to go well, right? I didn't have to deal with that last year, and hopefully I won't have to deal with that for some time. And if other people are hungry, quote unquote hungry, that's better, right? I can refuse food, they can have it. That's good. We could both win, right? But it really flies in the face of what I've seen, right? A lot of times when people say they are hungry and then they're excited about finally getting some food, and then I look at what kind of food they're getting, I don't see any food in there. I used to, when I was working on my PhD, I was dating a girl who was taking advantage of me financially. And one time, the reason we had the final straw that had made me break up with her was one day she was begging me for some help again. Her kids from a previous relationship, she had 2 kids, needed food. And when I looked at what she was planning to get, I didn't see any food, right? I saw a bunch of chemicals, a bunch of sugar, a bunch of MSG, trans fat. And in my head, I didn't say it out loud to her. In my head, I said, this isn't food. And that's when I broke up with her. And so, okay, yes, Americans might be missing out on those things, right? But that's not because you're hungry. You might be bored or lonely from not being able to indulge in those substances. You might have withdrawal symptoms from that, but don't call it hunger, please. Anyways, I thought I'd point that out, right? Most Americans have too much to eat. They might be missing out on other things, especially during this time. Love, right? Not food, right? Or maybe some healthy ways to interact with the world, right? But that's not going to be satisfied by you consuming, 150 pounds of sugar a year? And many years ago, we used to, if I remember correctly, 1 out of every 10 calories we consumed was a trans fat. Trans fat has been banned in the United States, but at one point, it made up 10% of our diet, right? That doesn't solve hunger, right? If anything, that will cause other problems that might make you go hungry, right? Last time I checked, a lot of chronic diseases do cause you to lose your appetite, right? Anyways, I thought I would point that out. Yes, be hungry, but not necessarily for food. Thanks for watching.